Hello there, everybody. Thank you so much for joining our Zoom tonight. It's Monday, the 14th of December, 2016. My name's Jane Brown. I'm an independent consultant and executive district manager. Really excited to have new Regional Vice President Charlotte Whittle on the phone tonight. So excited to hear from her. She has asked me to do just a little bit about my story, so I'll keep it really brief. Basically, I found out about Arbonne last September from the amazing Daniela Wells. Didn't really know Danny, but we kind of bumped into each other at a pole class. And then she kind of started talking to me about Arbonne, and I wasn't really sure about it. Anyway, one day I was just out for a run, as you do, and I hear this voice shouting me from across the road, Jane, come and join us. And I'm there in my running kit, all sweaty. I'm like, oh God, okay, I'm coming in. So I go into this house with lots of children. It's very noisy. And there's Danny and Zoe and another girl who ended up being my sponsor, Claire. And I sat there and listened to this presentation and thought, what are they going on about? Just did not have a clue what they were talking about. And I left, and I did get back to Danny, and I said, oh, it all sounds great, but it wasn't for me. I'd recently separated, so I was kind of on my own. I was on job seekers allowance, and I was in a bit of a bad way and didn't really know where I was. Anyway, but then I kept seeing posts from Danny and things, and how well she was doing, and that she was able to stay at home. She got this extra income coming in, and she looked amazing. And there was something on Facebook about Cheryl Cole using the same skincare. So I was like, what is she using? I've got to find out. So I did ask a few more questions, found out a bit more. And in the end, I did kind of think to myself, what have I got to lose? I've got no qualifications. I just kind of waitress part-time. So I thought, give it a go. I spoke to my family, and they said, just try it. Make some new friends, give you a bit of confidence. And that's what it has done. It's totally transformed me as a person. Totally transformed my life. My husband and I are back together now, which is brilliant. So we're having Christmas together this year. So really excited, and just love everything to do with Arbonne, the people, the products, and just so excited to just go all the way. It's taken me longer than what I thought it was going to, but I think a lot of people find that. But I will just never ever give up. Just go all the way. So that's kind of my story, really. So I'm going to hand over to the gorgeous Charlotte now. I've met Charlotte twice, and each time I met her, she just made me feel so welcome, and she's just so down to earth and friendly. And so, yeah, just really excited to hear from her. So over to you, Charlotte.
Thank you so much, Jane. Thank you. And I need to say that I have absolutely watched your journey with Arbonne. I think we became friends on Facebook quite quickly after you joined, and I've seen you grow, and I've seen the work and the personal development that's gone into it. And when you got that E added to your district manager, I was bloody screaming for you. I was so happy. You are such a leader because you committed to growing, and I know that you're there by Danny's side at everything. You never don't turn up to stuff. You're always there. And I've watched you, and I know you did have quite a lot of negativity in your network in the beginning, and I've seen how you dealt with that and how you've not let it stop you. And absolutely, you will be a regional vice president by the end of this year. I know it from watching you. So just keep going. It's an absolute honour for you to ask me to train your team tonight. I'm so excited to be here. And I'm really excited because there's some of my team here tonight. Give us a wave, guys. There's quite a few of my team. There's Julie's driving, bless her. Don't crash, Julie.
I'm actually on my phone and I can't see anybody. I can only see you talking.
When you watch the recording back, you'll see all the gorgeous northern faces on it. So tonight, what I thought I would do, this is kind of about earning Bahamas. What I don't want to do is go into numbers and boggle people's minds, because I'm not really a numbers person. What I tend to focus more on is what it is that I want to do and just the activity to get there. I get a bit numbers paralysis if I have to start thinking about exactly what it's going to be for this level or whatever. I just kind of do the activity. So you'll probably pick up from me, things that you might find useful, and then there'll be other stuff that you'll want to go onto the source and you'll want to clarify details. But one of my absolute beliefs with Arbonne, and my team know this, is there's so much information out there for us, tons on the source, there's tons of information on SoundCloud and on YouTube, and you can get absolute paralysis from the amount of training and stuff that there is out there. So I drip feed people on my team information, because we're all busy, we're all working other jobs, we're all trying to juggle children and families. And if you've got too much information, it's just going to paralyse you. So I would say, in terms of the Bahamas trip, what's going to make the difference between someone that earns it and someone that doesn't is just the activity. There's no way to sugarcoat it. It's just the doing it. But the thing that will make you do that activity is your belief about whether or not you can be on it. And I'll tell you something about the cruise. When the cruise got launched, I looked at those numbers and I said, I can't do that. And I didn't do it. Wasn't on the cruise. And everyone kept saying to me, why are you not on the cruise? Why are you not on the cruise? I should have been on the cruise. And I wasn't on it. Because in my head, those numbers were too big. But realistically, region numbers are too big. So how have we become a region? But you can, if you absolutely make a decision that that's going to happen. And I know one of the things I definitely took from Danny when she earned the cruise was she got her kids involved. Her kids knew they were going on that cruise. And oh my God, can you imagine then telling them that we're not? That would have been horrendous. So whether it's your partner, whether it's your parents, your children, whoever it may be, you need to get them involved. They need to know that you're going to the Bahamas for your holidays. My husband's just about to walk by now, and he's absolutely going to the Bahamas. He was like on the phone to me while I was in Manhattan saying, you need to get home and crack on really with this trip, because I've booked the time off, I'm going. I was like, okay, we're going. So it's a decision. Before I get into any more about that, I just want to tell you a little bit about me and my background, because I don't know whether people know. You might have seen I did a Zoom for Danny a while back, and I spoke at leadership training last year. But basically, he's washing up now. I'm not in my office because it's a bit cold. Can you do that in a minute? Thanks. So he does know that I'm trying to train. He's got a bit of OCD and he just wants to get the pots done. So my background is child protection. I was in child protection for 10 years. And I believe that something like that, it's a calling. Like, I believe you're absolutely going to that because you genuinely want to help people. You don't go into it for the money, because I worked out 60 hours a week for not very much money at all. I was a social worker when I was introduced to Arbonne, and I was actually managing a team of social workers. I was also at university. I was finishing up my study, and I've been studying for 5 years part-time. So when Arbonne was kind of shared with me, I was a bit like, I've got 24 hours in a day and I'm using every single one of them. Where do you ever think I would fit this in? But the lady that shared it with me, Executive Regional Vice President Joanne Geddes, she was one of my mum's best friends, and she was someone I really, really respected in business. And what Joanne explained to me was, in her straight way of talking, was if you don't do anything differently with your life, it is never going to change. You will never, ever have any time. And she was kind of saying this as a lady in her 50s with 2 girls, that she'd not been present fully while they were growing up. She'd been to university and she tried to juggle this really high-pressure career and her girls. And she was telling me out of love that I needed to look at this opportunity. She knew that my daughter had been quite sick, and she knew that my son wasn't much older than my daughter. They're really close together, my kids. And that my husband had his own business. And that in itself was just such a challenge, because if he didn't work, we didn't get paid. We didn't have any money. And I think Joe just genuinely wanted me to have an opportunity to make something different for my life. And she can't talk about me being a region without crying. I don't know what she's going to do at the car presentation. Her and my mum, between them, my mum's actually my sponsor, they're just going to cry the whole way through, because they're just so happy that this has created for me the chance to be a mum. and to be a wife and to be present in the lives of these amazing people. As much as I still have a lot of social work values and beliefs, I'm able to use the money I get paid from Arbonne to allow me to go and do things with charities, to allow me to go into schools and still do work, but not trying to charge a load of money, because people in those positions that need you, the authorities don't have the money anymore. So it's really good for me to be able to, I believe, keep my foot in the door and still do that. But I do it around my children. They come first for everything, which is just massive. So wherever you're at on your journey, just know that you're in exactly the right place. You're exactly where you're supposed to be right now. And you're just supposed to be working on you, working on your business and working on your belief consistently every single day until you're ready to be in the place where you want to be. And I just think that's key. For me, that was such a massive thing to hang on to, because you can get very stuck in the day to day. Oh my God, I'm not where I want to be yet. I'm not a region. I'm not a nation. And you can end up kind of feeling quite anxious and a little bit down really about this. But Arbonne's more than a title. Arbonne is so much more than a title. Arbonne is about a community of people that love you and support you and want to be there to help you be better. Oh my God, that is absolutely amazing. And we get to be part of that. So you've got to love the journey. You've got to love every single horrific one-to-one. You've got to love every single product event where you feel like an idiot because somebody's saying he's making the face hot or whatever it is these people say. There's a radiator on, move away from the radiator. But you've got to love every single part of what it is you're doing, because if you're not doing, you're just sending out really, really bad vibes to the universe, and the universe goes, oh, she doesn't even like Arbonne. We're not going to make her be a nation then, are we? Because she doesn't like it. Like, and I remember literally finishing work at 7 o'clock, sorting my kids out, trogging off out to do an Arbonne event and sitting in my car crying. Because I was like, this is just so awful. It's so hard. And then it was Regional Vice President Claire Fishenden that said to me, babe, like with an Essex voice, I can't do it. She was like, you've got to love this bit. This is it. This is doing Arbonne. And so I think that's key when you're thinking about this Bahamas trip. What it's going to do is give you a plan. It's going to give you a really clear business plan to grow your business. But you've got to love every single second of it. Like getting in the trenches and doing the do, that's the Arbonne bit. So you have to be in love with it. So that's a little bit about me. I want to just tell you about Manhattan. So when Manhattan was launched, most people missed it. Like literally people were like, I didn't even know about the Manhattan thing, and it was 3 months in, they missed it. But because I hadn't earned the cruise, I was all over that trip. I was like, I am earning that trip. And for me, it came at a pivotal point. So it came at a point where I've always been able to sponsor a lot of people in my business, but I wasn't great at helping them to promote. And I got to a point where I really thought it was me. I really thought it was something I was doing. What I know now is, so if anyone's in that place, what I know now is it's nothing you're doing and it's nothing you're not doing. Some people will come to this and they will not stick at it. That's nothing to do with you. But I literally got to a place where I was saying to Joanne Geddes, I'm just not going to sponsor anyone else, because if I sponsor them, I'm going to ruin them. I was literally in that place like, this is all my fault. But Manhattan got launched, and you might or might not know, but my dad actually grew up in Manhattan. So all my paternal family live in Manhattan. All my very sceptical, not quite understanding why I've left my social work job to do this, family live in Manhattan. So I was like, right, I am earning this trip and I'm coming over there, all expenses paid, and I'm going to pay you a visit while I'm there. Was absolutely doing it. So my area was barely maintaining at that point, and I decided the best thing to do was literally just break it down into what I needed each month in my central district. So that's what I would say. That's as much numbers as I'm going to tell you. You want to print off the plan for the Bahamas. You want to figure out what you got in August, because August counted, remember? And you want to know that this month is double QV. And then you're going to subtract that from the total, and then you're just going to divide it by the rest of the months we've got. And the beauty of this, guys, is it's nothing to do with anybody else in your business. You see that number, and all I did every month was I'd stick it up, and it was 15,000. I needed 15,000 central districts every month. That was it, 15, 15, 15, 15. So you stick it up, and it was everywhere in my house, 15,000 this month. And I would then break it down further into what needed to come in every week in terms of new people joining my business. Because on average, you're probably going to sponsor 4 or 5 new consultants a month, but only one's going to promote to district, probably. Until you get to like Danny's level, and then you're like super at like helping people move forward to district. But for me, it's took a lot of learning to do that. I've had a lot of district managers pop out recently, but I believe that's just because I've honed how I get people started and get them on the way. If you're newish in this business, don't put that pressure on yourself. Just know you just need to bring in a lot of people, because the ones that are going to get to district will do. They will. But because this is a time limited thing, and we need to promote people out to district, what you'll find is you're going to up your game at getting them going, because once they're promoted out, their QV is still going to count to your volume for Bahamas. So what it did for me, and I'm looking at Amy Trevor right now, smack bang in the face. She was my first promoted out district manager in Manhattan, and she is an above average bonusing district manager. So she promoted out, and the first month after promoting out, she bonused. She has bonused consistently since, because I taught her how to do that. These people in my team that promoted out in that time are absolutely kick-ass. Seriously. So that's the beauty of this going forward. Whilst I didn't promote to region during the Manhattan time, I promoted to region as a direct result of what I did to earn that incentive, because I stepped up and I upped my game. And I led by example. So one of the things that I say all of the time is your team are giving you everything they've got. And if everything they've got leaves you sat on 1,000 QVs, you're going to have to bring more people in. And we talk about this all of the time. And I can see them all smiling because they know it. They're literally doing their best for you. And their best might be 150 QVs. That might be it. And love them for that. But you need to bring more people into your business for you to be able to have the volume. If you are taking your family to the Bahamas, you've made that commitment. It's a free holiday. You're not going to have to save up loads and put it on a credit card and do all of them horrendous things. All you've got to do is some Arbonne. Like, seriously, when I hear things like that, and I think about what I used to do in my other job, I used to take people's children off them. It was horrendous. Now, I talk to people about amazing skincare and nutrition, and if I do it well enough, they send me on holiday and give me a Mercedes-Benz. It's insane. We absolutely want to take opportunity of every single incentive Arbonne gives us, because it's the evidence that this is a better way. We are the evidence for network marketing being a better way. Seriously. So here are some facts. Like that for me is as much as I will look into Bahamas. I do actually know the volume. Like if Ian Pritchard gets wind of this at any point, I do know the volume, Ian, don't panic. But I don't overthink it, because I don't think there's any need. I know that in the next 5 months, I want to promote at least 6 new district managers, because 6 people in my network deserve to be district managers. They deserve to be doing that. And the people on my team understand that they need to be promoting district managers too, because they need to help people to achieve their goals and their dreams. The thing that you need to understand though is you cannot promote anyone out. You can't do it. You think about yourself and where you're at. Did anybody do it for you? No. You probably scrabbled your way and wondered what was going on and whether you're doing it right and is this okay and should I be doing this, and you probably got guidance. and you probably got awesome training, and you probably got Zooms. I know Danny and her team Zoom so much more than we do. Absolutely are the bar for the amount of guidance that you give to your team. They don't do it for you. And you've got to understand that with the people that you sponsor. If they want it, they're going to want it for themselves. You can help them to uncover that why. But again, I'm going to talk about Amy because she's just there in front of me and she's beautiful. Amy has got the biggest why. Huge. She's doing this whether I'm here or not. If I quit Arbonne tomorrow, it would make no difference to Amy. She would just go for it no matter what. Those are the people you want. Every single district manager in my business wants it for themselves, and that's why they're promoted. So you've got to find those people that want it for themselves, and then you're just going to guide them. You're going to teach them to do what you do. The only way that you'll ever combat any frustration in your business, and this came loud and clear from Vegas last year, Danny will remember it, the only way you'll combat any frustration is personal activity. Like, you cannot sit there and look at your stats and go, oh my God, if only my team were doing this, if only they were doing that, if only, just get out. Get out with your gold bags, with your nutrition, with your mouth and your whiteboard. I think you guys do a lot with whiteboards. Get out and share this. Get it in front of people and get really good at sharing it. Because guaranteed, mine and Danny's stories will be similar in that we used to talk to 15 people and 14 said no. And now you get better at it and better at it. And sometimes probably 10 will say yes and 5 will say no. The difference probably between us and other people is, I don't even mention it. If someone says no, nobody knows. My team was laughing their head off at me last month because I was like, guys, stop telling me what's not happening. Not interested in what's not happening. I got stood up in a cafe. I sat there for an hour and a half by myself in a cafe. I met 2 new people while I was there and 1 joined my business. So I don't tell anybody. I think they all think that everybody says yeah to me. They don't. I just don't see a point in talking about it. If you want your business to grow, go out there and grow it yourself, and your team will follow. They want to be led by example. They don't want to be told what to do or managed, because that's not what we're here for. The minute I feel like I'm being managed, I go, oh, I'm not doing this. Not doing it. Don't want to be managed at all. And Ian Pritchard, I aspire to have leadership like him, because he never gets hold of you and tells you what you're doing. He just drip feeds you a tiny little bit that's going to make you be that tiny bit better. And the next time you see him, he'll give you a bit more to be that tiny bit better again. And it's never about telling you what you should do. We've all got a choice in this about how much we grow and how much effort we put in. It's our choice. I'll be perfectly honest with you. Going for Magic of Manhattan and going region, my life was so out of balance. You've got to get so comfortable with being uncomfortable. I remember starting this business 2.5 years ago and hearing about Debbie Neal leaving the house with odd shoes on, feeding her kids jelly babies because she was on this mission to get to nation. And I was like, I'll never do that. I'll never be feeding my kids chocolate because my kids are too important to me to be doing that. Tell you something, last month my kids had chocolate for breakfast 4 days in a row. And I looked at my husband and went, they're having celebrations again. And he was like, it'll be fine, they won't remember. Because he understood, as I did, that they are too important for me not to do this. Not that they're too important for me not to feed them chocolate. Oh my God, it was the best day of their life. They were too important for me not to be doing what I needed to do. I didn't sleep for 3 nights prior to completing region. Didn't sleep once. Not the worried, anxious feeling I used to get when I had a court report due. The really bloody, giddy, excited feeling that I knew that we were doing this. I knew that finally it was happening. And when you're moving your team forward and you're moving yourself towards that Bahamas trip and your family are coming along with you and you're so excited and you're like stepping over washing going, oh my God, that's fine, leave that later till later because you want to check your stats. Like literally, are they still called stats? Is that what people call them? I always call them stats. Your numbers on your thing. that is when you know that you are in momentum and you are moving forward. And Danny still says websites is fine. You're moving forward and you're in alignment with your goals and you're in alignment with what sits right with you. I'm going to be really honest with you right now. When I was in Manhattan, I went into a bit of a funk. I don't know if this happened to you, Danny. Well, it didn't, because Fiona told me it didn't happen to you. So Danny completed Region on a holiday, and the next day she was drawing on the floor on pieces of paper what it would take to get to Nation. The next day, and her husband was going, "What are you doing?" So Fiona told us that. I didn't do that. I was in Manhattan away from my team, and I hate being away from my team. They know it. I hate not being with them. And I went into a bit of a funk, and it like scared me a little bit. And the only thing that I knew how to do that would make me feel better was go out and speak to somebody about Arbonne. So while I was in Manhattan, I just kept going out, going to the coffee shop and sharing, "Are you open to opportunity? This is why I'm here." Because I felt better when I was doing that. So if you ever feel a bit funky and a bit not okay, it's probably because you're not in alignment with what your higher purpose in life is. And I swear going for something like the Bahamas trip will make your purpose very, very clear, because it's not about you. When we were in Manhattan, the biggest cheers went for the MVPs that had team members there with them. And my absolute goal, and my guys know this, my absolute goal, and it makes me tearful, is us lot on that beach with our babies. And we will be there on that beach with our babies, because that's what this business is. Well, Elaine, I know you've no babies, love. Well, just borrow Phoebe. Well, that's what this is. This is about who you can help to have a better life. And that absolutely just gives me the biggest feeling of happiness and joy, because that's why I was a social worker. So it fits with my purpose. So find how you make Arbonne fit with your purpose and then share that with other people. Oh, we're on 9 o'clock. Can I have 5 more minutes?
Yeah. Yes. We could listen all night.
All right, I'll have 5 more minutes. Right, okay. So, right. There is a difference between seeing this trip and saying, right, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to try really hard. I'm really, really going to try hard to earn this trip. And if I do, then brilliant. And if I don't, well, there's a difference between that and having a plan that you will absolutely stick to no matter what. So something I'm going to introduce into my business, heads up guys, is we all have a goal. So we all have like a number that we're going for, which is like that big goal. But then you also want to have a do or die number. And absolutely, I will not go under this number. That I will do everything to get myself to that number. So there's the woohoo goal number, and then there's this number. That number is the difference between I'm just going to try real hard and see how it goes. If you've got a do or die number, it's more than trying really hard, because I promise you it is more than that. Arbonne's not hard. It isn't hard. Hard is taking people's kids off them. Arbonne is not hard. It's challenging. It makes us get out of our comfort zone, and it makes us do things that other people are not willing to do. They want to sit on the sofa, watch X Factor. We're out rubbing face cream on people's faces. But we're doing that because we know that we will have a better life as a result, and they'll also have a better face. So you want to get it on the face. So when you've got that do or die number, I believe that that's your plan for Bahamas. So if you look at what the minimum is that month, that's what's got to be your bottom do or die number. And then you want to go above it. So you want to perhaps look at, are the 6 levels, Danny? 5. I'm going for level 6. Mm-hmm. So there are 5 levels. So what you would need for level 5 is your whoop whoop massive goal number. What you need for level 3 is this do or die number. And you want to just make sure that you do that, because what you need to remember is really crucial. The beauty of this business is we do not get paid for a title. We get paid for the work that we do and the activity that we do. And I know as an area manager, I got bigger paychecks than some regional vice presidents, because I worked my business so hard. Titles are awesome. I'm loving being called an RVP, but I feel no different than I did when I was an area manager. Don't feel any different at all. Exactly the same, other than my belief is a tiny bit bigger, but it's my belief in me, because I don't think that I always knew for definite that I could do it. Does that make sense? So it just cranked my own belief up in me. But other than that, it's no different. So I think the key's got to be in the activity that you're doing, because you're going to grow your paycheck and you're going to grow your consultants' paychecks. I've got a district manager that gets paid above average for district managers. Awesome. She's not been in my business that long. Like, I've helped her to bring that income in. That's amazing. So you want to focus on that. My final, last absolute point, I promise you, I'll talk forever, is that we all talk, don't we, about like our why for doing this business. We've all got this why, and then you really want it because of that why. And I've met loads of people that I'm like, she really wants this. Like, she absolutely really, really wants it. And I'll spend loads of time helping them, and then nothing comes of it. And it's just purely because wanting it is not enough. Like, we all do our affirmations and our vision boards, and you're like walking around all the time saying your affirmations. I am a national vice president. I am a national vice president. But it's not going to work if you're just in your kitchen drinking wine saying it. Like, you've got to do the activity. So we can want the Bahamas. Please want it. But you've got to like convert that into doing the do. And something that I think is a social work trait that I've brought into my Arbonne business is being really good at reflecting and evaluating where I'm up to and what I'm doing. And I think that everyone should do that. You can't just, it's like, is it Jim Rohn that says, if you type something and you print it out and it's got an error in it, and you go, oh, damn, press print again, and it comes out, it's got an error again, oh, damn, press print again, comes out, it's got an error again. You've got to change the typo in the computer before it'll go off the screen. And I think that's what it is here. If what you're doing isn't working and it's not moving you forward fast enough, change up here. And honestly, you have such an awesome leader in Danny Wells. If she was my vice president, I'd just be messaging her every week saying, what are you reading now? What are you reading now? And read it. Like, when we talk about reading, there we go, what are you reading? See, I don't even know what this is. She tells me about stuff and I'm like, I don't even know what it is, but I need to get it. Like, you need to, when I talk about reading, we literally turn over a book a week at least. That's the only way you grow. Because when I was doing a degree, I was reading 3 books a week and underlining them and highlighting them and writing notes on them to get my degree. And when I finished my degree, they gave me a job for 30 grand a year. We're building a business that can pay us 30 grand a month easily. You've got to read more than a book a week. You've got to be falling asleep reading that book and waking up in the morning and reading that book. That's why we talk about Miracle Morning. If you've got kids and you put your kids to bed at 7, I would highly advise, if you're not out doing activity, that you're sat on the sofa reading a book. While they're falling asleep, you sat on your bed reading a book. Because if you're anything like me, like literally get in bed at 10:30, and I'm like, I'm going to sleep. I'm so tired. My kids don't sleep properly. I'm shattered. People, you know what's right for you, but don't let it be an excuse to not do it. Because just because nobody's testing you on what you've read and what you've not read doesn't mean that they don't know. Danny and I know. We can tell the people that are reading. Jane Brown reads. She has grown so much in the time that I've seen her. She reads. And we can watch all of the product trainings that we want. But that's not it. That's not going to convert your wanting to do Arbonne into actual it happening. Reading Tilly's little notes. That's not going to convert it, because you've got to grow into the type of person that can sponsor an Ian Pritchard. Can you imagine you sharing a business opportunity with someone like him, as you were when you started this business? He would have literally laughed his head off at me. He'd been like, no. But now I don't think I'm not there yet. I still don't think I could sponsor Ian, but that's my goal, to get to a place where somebody like him would say yes to me. So I've got to grow. What is she talking about now? I love her. She's like literally the multitasking bunny. So growing is huge. I hope that is helpful. So my 3 kind of points for the Bahamas are: 1, you cannot make people promote. So you're going to bring people into the business and some of them are not going to promote, and that's fine. You can't do it for them. You're just going to guide them. The other thing is getting into massive activity. You can change your numbers from today. You can make your numbers different from today. And the third thing is, wanting it is not enough. You've got to be putting the activity in, doing the reading, doing the listening to make it happen. My guys, we've got conference call at 9:30 and they'll all be on that. So you've got to just be doing the do. I hope that I see every single one of you on that beach. How bloody exciting would that be? In the Bahamas, that would be so amazing. You can make it happen, you just have to commit to it. I don't know whether or not Team UK Pig, absolutely. I don't know whether or not you want to say anything to close, Jane, but I think that's me taught everyone to death.
That was just amazing. I'm blown away, and so much resonated with me what you were saying. Just kind of your journey is just kind of how I felt, and the bit you said about kind of trying to get your team to do it. You've got to do it yourself and love them for where that's something huge that I've had to learn along the way, and it's got me down, and I've had to kind of just let go and let them go and do what they want, and just like you say, do my bit really, you know, and carry on. Has anybody got any questions for Charlotte at all? I know everyone's probably muted, but if you want to unmute and ask any questions.
Just don't ask me ones about the numbers. Don't tell Ian I've said that.
No, you're just amazing, and like you say, I mean, you and Danny are just you inspire me so much. And I've got one of Danny's books at the moment, and it's one that she scribbled loads of notes in, and I literally feel like I'm inside Danny's head. It's amazing. I feel like I'm really
want to be inside Danny Wells's head. I think everybody does.
I just feel like I'm learning so much, and yeah, it's great. I love it.
Yeah, you're all very, very lucky to have such a gorgeous leader that just is literally going to be a 10-wide executive national vice president. Seriously, like, you scare me. You're that amazing. But that's good. Like, you want someone that's the bar that comes in and just kills it like Danny has done. Like, seriously. When Danny asked me to do her Zoom 12 months ago, she was like, oh, will you do this Zoom for me? And then I realised, like, Danny Wells, are you kidding me? She's absolutely kick-ass. You just want to copy everything she does to the letter because she's amazing.
Oh,
I just go, my kids are crying.
Well,
I don't think they're into my training.
I just want to say thank you so much, Charlotte. You are an amazing person, and I wasn't going to say anything on this. I was going to leave you a little voice message afterwards to say the growth in you is absolutely enormous. You were already amazing in January when you did Leadership Academy and had our whole team, the row of our whole team, in tears and like, oh my gosh, that woman is incredible. But the growth that you've had between January and seeing you train to now, I'm literally like, what is she reading? Because I want a list of every single book you've read since January, because, oh my God.
They're all your books. I swear to God, everything you read. I think it's just knowing that you can't just want it. Something clicked in my head in Vegas in May. Something clicked. And I was like, I can't just sit around thinking I'm a nice person and I try really hard and all of that. That's not it. That's not enough. Trying hard and being nice, you've got to absolutely get out there and share this. And it makes me sad when people don't, because it's changed my life and it's changed Danny's life so much, and Jane's life. Our lives are completely transformed because of this business. And I think, what if Joanne Geddes hadn't shared it with me? What if she'd have kept it to herself? And it makes me so sad, because there are people that are desperate for this, that are on their knees just trying to figure out how to juggle life, and they need something like this. And I could cry, so I'm going to stop. I'm still a bit jet lagged.
And don't let anything, activity like that goes wrong, stop you. I did a stall outdoor last week. It was freezing, blowing an absolute gale, and at one point my whole makeup kit blew right across the floor. And everything. But I got up, packed it up, came home and cried a bit, and then carried on.
Yeah, and I think you just learn from stuff like that, don't you? You're just like, this will make me an MVP. This will.
Don't do a stall on a windy day. That's what
I'm going to go. Conference
that
call.
was brilliant. Thank you so much, Charlotte. Absolutely fantastic.
Love all my team.
Thank you, Charlotte. It was amazing. And thank you to the new Whittle region as well.
Yeah.
Bye. Amazing call. Bye.